Okay, I'm gonna make this like kind of a quick one, but excuse me for the last live. But I just really want to get this out there correctly to the people, because I don't want to talk to people and I mess up and you don't understand the message that I'm actually trying to get. You know, I want every live that I come up here with, I want the people actually to get the message. You know, I want people to actually to walk with this message. I want people to actually help other people out. You know, so let me get down straight to the point, because I'm going to be honest with you. Each live that I do, yes, I think I am getting better and better in speaking on this social media, YouTube stuff. And I'ma just be straight honest. I ain't used to doing none of this of speaking on a social media site, but as a lot of people that told me before I got on this site, it's not about the site, or it's not about the people. It's about the energy that Delvin could bring, and it's about the energy that I've been bringing before I stepped on this internet or this app, whatever you want to call it. Now, some people, they will think that they could do what they want in this world with no consequences. Some people think, some people don't think. Now, those that think, they know the consequences. Those that don't think, they don't know the consequences to things that they do. And this is why we have people in a world nowadays where they don't care what they do. They don't care how they treat people. They really don't care, you know. And one thing that I don't like to play with, you know, and a lot of people, they always used to tell me before I ever got on this YouTube or any of these applications, people told me, they always said, Delvin, you need to give your messages out to the world more. And I didn't get that because I'm not into like the attention stuff, or I'm not into broadcasting and looking for attention from a lot of people. I'm not into that. I don't like that at all. You know, I don't like it. I don't. I don't like people eyes on me, you know, because if you don't get that, all eyes on you ain't good eyes upon you. You feel me? And everybody that looks at you ain't people that love you. Okay? Sometimes you have to learn to protect yourself before the enemy even come. And that's what it is. Okay? I don't mess with being friendly. Yes, you could be positive and things, but I draw the lines with people in this world. I don't let everybody think they could do what they want. Now, excuse me right there. I had to get a sip of my coffee again. But let me drop. How we react to ignorant people in this world tells a lot about us. And I started off the other live from when I was talking about when we moved to Brooklyn, and I was helping different people, and not financially or physically in fighting. Okay? I'm talking about mental power. Mental power. Because, yes, I may be skinny and slender, but I'm very athletic, and I'm very, like, I always been energetic. You know, always had energy. Since my legs got ran over by the bus in the car, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, it did take some of my leg power, and my legs are not 100%, but we are getting back up there. I am getting back to 100%. But that's not the point of this live. The point of this live where I remember in Brooklyn seeing people, you see some people mental is hurt, but growing up in the so-called hood, people learn to take that stuff of being mentally hurt and you be tough, or you act like it doesn't matter, or you act like it doesn't affect you, or you block it out. Now, for many people that block it out, they take their anger and they take that energy and they put it in other places, you know? And I seen this happen in Brooklyn where some young men and some young women couldn't express themselves, and nobody wasn't there to help them, because the same people that they grew up around is teaching them and showing them different things of, how could I say it? You're not showing young kids or young people in the ghetto how to deal with issues that they have, of whether it's anger or whether it's what they're living around. And in the so-called ghetto or hood, many times young kids, they wasn't taught how to deal with what they living in and what they're living around. And many times the kids in the ghetto, they lash out on themselves and the people that they live around. And many times some people say, yeah, we need to clean up the hood, but I'll get into that in another time. But when you looked at the little young hurt man and woman inside of the so-called ghetto, you see this little young man and you see this little young woman growing up, and you're seeing that they have certain problems, right? And I will take me for an example. I remember I was the smallest a lot of times with my boy cousins growing up in the Bronx. And the other big dudes and girls, I was the smallest and the skinniest. But that didn't stop me, because, let me just be honest, what I had more than the other kids was my willpower, my brain power, and my soul won't let me stop. Because everything that I thought they could do, I thought I could do as well. And it had many things that I didn't do. Like, for example, play basketball because I seen my father and my uncle watching basketball as a kid, and I seen my big boy cousins and the bigger dudes in the neighborhood playing basketball, and I became one with basketball. I became loving it more than the same guys that was watching it and playing it before me. I started loving it more than them, because at the point before me watching basketball and playing it, I didn't know how much they loved the game. I didn't know what they felt about the game. All I knew was it was males that I seen watching a sport and playing a sport. And I went to the sport and I played it. I watched it. And in that sport that we played, we had many little scuffles as kids. But my main point of this live is how we react. I remember, and the reason why I bring up basketball, as I say, everything that I talk about in my life, I will connect them all together. If you don't understand, just please ask me and I would explain. I wouldn't have a problem explaining. But I remember playing basketball, and I like to, in anything that I do, I maybe overthink a lot of things. And I like to look left, look right, look up, look down, and then stay straight center. You know? I don't I don't like to think stupidly. I don't like to think like crazy. I have organized thinking, you know? And I remember one time an elder lady told me, and this is not to brag or boast, this is nothing to brag or boast about, but this is just real life. An elder lady in Brooklyn told me, she said it would be something dangerous for somebody to try to walk in your mind. And I remember I was 14 years old, and I didn't get what she meant, and I thought that she was trying to be smart. So I remember I told her it'd be a problem for people getting into your mind too. So I remember when she actually realized that I was being smart, and she told me, like, Delvin, I'm actually telling you something for your benefit, you know? And I remember I didn't get it of, like, because I still thought she was trying to be smart with me, of saying, like, you know, like, yeah, you could conjure up things in your mind, but you still don't care about people. And I was there saying, like, okay. I thought she was trying to be smart with me, but she was actually helping me, because when she broke it down to me of telling me that it would be dangerous for people to get into my mind, she broke down how my mind thinks and how I look at certain things and how I break the world down. And when she did that, see, it's okay for you to look at things on the surface, right? But when you look at things from a inner perspective, that's when it tears you up in a good way. Because I will say the way that I think and the way that my brain process things, many people would call it weird or crazy or abnormal. And to be honest with you, I don't care. I didn't care all my life. And now that I reach older, I definitely damn sure don't care. Because I see that many people in the world are just open to be games. Not play games, but just open to be a game. And I had to learn the hard way of not hurting myself or anything, but I had to learn the hard way of looking into myself and actually finding myself. Because stupid thinking of growing up in Bronx and Brooklyn, thinking that you need to react to everything that somebody says to you or about you. Because I remember it was one famous saying that I live with, and 4 years ago, I let it go. I never let somebody punk me. You know, and with saying that, like, you're probably saying, if you let it go, do you make people punk you now? No, sorry, as I said. Everything that people come to you with negative energy, or something that you don't agree with, how you react, it tells a lot about yourself. You know, good morning, Sassy. Good morning. Because I remember growing up, I don't know what it is like to make a male punk me or anybody punk me and think it's okay. I didn't know what that is because, first of all, I ain't never been no troublemaker. And second of all, when it comes to defending yourself with your fists, I knew how to do that very well. Never went out and caused trouble with nobody. Because almost every fight that I got in my life was defending myself and others. I never went out and caused trouble with one single human being in my life. But you leave it up to other people. They'll call you a troublemaker. They'll call you many different things. And I remember growing up as a young teenager, I used to hate. I'm going to be honest to you. I ain't going to sugarcoat it and give people no lie. I used to hate anybody saying anything wrong about me or trying to portray me in a bad light. And even right now, as 41 years old, you still got some adults, they still do it. And I'm going to be real honest. I grew up, and I wouldn't mention Bronx and Brooklyn for this, but grew up with a bad temper to where, as I say, some people may joke around with it, but I don't joke around with it at all because I never been joking with nobody in this world but my family and people that's close to me. I don't know what it is to be joking with people and playing around with people. I never really liked it that. I don't get along with that. So when people play games in this world, I didn't really like it too much, and I took it to a second level because I grew up with a temper, and I'll tell you where the temper came from. When you look at this world of something being peaceful, I got a peaceful heart and a peaceful soul. But one thing, we live in a world where people will try to play with your peaceful heart and your peaceful soul and thinking that, excuse my language out there, ladies, but I just got to give it up raw. Some people think just because you peaceful, they think that you vagina. But I had to learn that you being peaceful, it ain't nothing soft about you. Those that rile up this and that, I'm the baddest, or I'm the baddest. I had to learn that was nonsense. That was the soft people, because how you react to certain people in this world, or everybody in this world, it tells about you. You know, because I wanted to go hard on everybody that hated me in this world or disrespected me. But one thing I say for sure nowadays, being the king, it's how you react to people. Because, yeah, some people will want their cake and eat it too, right? But I had to learn that you don't react to people that want a reaction, because that's only hurting you. And whether it's family or whether it's friends, you keep your peace, okay? You make sure you remain yourself and you don't make others make you like them. Because it's okay. You could be the baddest in the world. You could be the top dollar dog in the world. You could be the number one person in the world. But everybody got their day. And everybody got somebody that's better than somebody. And this is why nowadays, and even from before nowadays, I don't care who you is. I tell everybody search for peace. Because as I said, the friends and family members that I got in jail and in the graveyard, they're memories for me and for many people out there. Our people are memories. And the only thing we could do is hold on to them memories. But if you think about how we living, we could think about how we change and not make those memories. And we will keep our people here or keep our people next to us and not make memories, and we'll make moments with them. Because as I said, I got friends from school, whether it's junior high school or high school, ain't never coming out of jail. Okay? Ain't never seeing the day of walking on a city street in America again. And to some people, they call that, you thinking they bad, or they got something to bang on, or they got something to live for now. Because the same Caucasian man locked you up and he threw away the key, and you ain't gonna never see the day of light again. Okay, you're gonna be locked in a cage forever. And to me, saying that, it hurt. Whether it's a cousin or whether it's a friend that's locked up in jail forever. Okay? Like that joint, for some people they be calling that joint good, but for me and many others, it ain't nothing good about that. Okay, I'll give you a real example. I have one friend, he in jail for life, and every time we speak to him, he actually got a better spirit than us. Because a lot of us feel down for him being in there for life, but he okay. And I remember one thing that he always told me. He said, Delvin, don't feel bad for me. I'm okay with my mistakes I made, and I'm going to deal with it. And I said, wow. Wow. And he's dealing with it. And salute to him. You know, because I got a lot of people out here. The reason why I say salute to him, got a lot of people out here, they got everything they want, and they complaining. He ain't got nothing, but he's still okay. And this is a childhood friend, childhood brother that's locked in a steel cage for life. Like, to some people, they think that joint is a lifestyle. To me, it ain't no lifestyle. When your brother can't even go to KFC no more, for simple example, can't even go to a corner store no more, can't go to a bodega no more, can't buy a train ticket, can't buy a bus ticket, can't go to a library, can't go get a cup of coffee from Starbucks. And this is why we must really realize the realization and the rebirth that we must give each other. How we react to things could change your whole life. How we react to things could change everything. And that's why I learned a lot of people, you just gotta let them go, because they want to see a reaction. But I'm telling you, Jah is my witness. Don't matter how much you may call somebody a sucker, or she a dumb girl, or he this and that. Your peace is much more valuable than their chaos. I'ma say it again, and I'll say it in like a more better way. Don't let their chaos destroy your peace inside. Cause that's what they wanna do. Miss Queen Sunkiss, bless you. Cause that's what they wanna do. And as I said, not when I was younger, but when I couldn't see my spirit and my soul, yes, I wanted to react to punks. But nowadays, as I'm talking, like I told my brother, it's real life. I can't come on YouTube and give people good messages, but then I'm terrorizing or I'm acting like other than what I'm saying on YouTube. I cannot do that. Everything is one and the same. This is an adult of all of us coming on here. This is why I don't get where people say I'm putting on a show on YouTube and in my real life nah. You're a grown man or woman straight through and through. What you coming on this thing and acting like something other than what you are? Why are you coming on this thing acting like something other than yourself? Who are you trying to impress? What are you trying to do? And this is why I say, like, I'm talking to the so-called hood and the so-called ghetto. You may not like it to hear it, but we need to, all of that stuff in the so-called hood and the so-called ghetto need to die. Okay? That hood mentality, that shit need to die. And I'ma keep on pushing it. Cause you know why? The so-called ghetto and the so-called hood is nothing but selfish females and males out there. The ghetto ain't got nothing but numbers that keep on going, revolving and revolving. It don't care for you. It don't care for you. And everybody that's out there pushing positive and pushing peace and pushing for people to be better, keep on pushing. Because I could care less. We going to get everybody out the streets. We going to clean the hood up for real. We going to change people's lives and we going to change people's minds because people need to change. We can't keep sending people back and back and back to the grave and to the morgue. Sending people to jail. And then we want to call that a life? Nah. Jamal can't come back. Sarid can't come back. Fidel can't come back. Can't bring none of these people back. But you know what? If we was living and we live under something that we could call understanding each other as human beings on a earth, it wouldn't be killing. It wouldn't be robbing. But we living in an earth where we made that okay for somebody that he got to go rob that dude tonight for him to be okay. Or she got to break in that store for her kids to eat. Or he got to do something wrong. Why is we living in the world like that? Why? Greed took over greed and made more greed. And some people is acting like this is actually a life, but it's not a life, it's a death. And this is why I'm saying how we react. Let me tell you something, people. I don't care about none of these governments in the world. I don't care about none of them. And when I say that, I stand firm and I stand strong in standing by myself of saying that. Okay? Because these governments around the world, they will continue to bleed people and they continue to watch all of the people in these different nations and countries bleed into chaos. And they are the main reasons why people are fighting and killing each other, but they will blame the people on the people. We need more jobs in these countries. We need more food in these countries, and we don't need foods to poison people. We don't need foods that's making people obese. We don't need foods that's making people congested. We don't need foods that's making people sick. We need food for people to eat and to give people life. God bless Rastafari. I will be back, and I'm bringing the fire.